Hello everyone, Ayeman merchant from Universal Business School, Mumbai is here to discuss my viewpoints on how internet fueled globalization and its consequences for business communication, with a special mention to how English became a business lingua franca. Internet plays a significant role in globalization and has revolutionized the way e-commerce, communications and businesses work. Business climate is completely changed in terms of group of customers, distribution, customization, speed of the service, customer satisfaction and whatnot. With no doubt, it can easily be said that because of globalization, the world have now become an international family in terms of people and culture. It can also be said that the world is now become a global village in terms of people, which takes place communications in different parts of the world in businesses and perform the communications that takes place on day-to-day basis on each or either sides of the pole. Communication is the meat and potato in the entire organization, and social media has tremendously changed this essential component of the business system, not only in terms of sales but also customer services, employee relations, and its presence is round the clock. Internet boosted the use of social media, and because of which companies' web pages, social media blogs, Facebook, Twitters, and broadcasts are all undergoing tremendous activity and a category of change. All these channels allow users to have an uninterrupted communication across enormous distances and to deliver instantly, across and globally in just a few clicks. Although social media is prone to errors, technical difficulties, hack attacks, and other security related issues, but due to its potential of being instant and adaptable to multiple targets at one time, and it's able to cater a variety of customers, improve interaction and recalls on a very low budget, freedom of unlimited communication and exchange of thoughts is achieved only and only because of social media. And this creates an opportunity for businesses to capture their target market and re-establish their communication systems to create a synchronized structure of communication that flows from one end to the another. Let us consider the famous example of Great Indian Amazon sale. Yes, it's by Amazon. Amazon makes use of social media's platform to get familiar about the festival to each and every one of us. It offers huge discounts on its product range. Techniques used here is just making use of all possible social media platforms that are used by Indian mass market, because as the name suggests, Great Indian Sales, so the platform is Indian mass market, and synchronizing the same advertisements and in all of its posts, making it use of different hashtags to promote their posts, and finally revealing the most products which are in huge demand and are offering those with the market offering discount. If we analyze this campaign, it can easily be determined that social media as a whole is flushed with ad series. Although marketing and promotions are restricted on WhatsApp, but by making use of spin wheels competitions and links, WhatsApp users are manipulated and redirected to the web page. It altogether forms a circular communication cycle to boost and communicate business activities with the help of social media platforms. In short, we can easily conclude that no business is now operating on its local customer base and is neither socially dependent on them for its survival. As changed, and its customer base is also the way of communication between employees and managers globally. Few years ago, people found it quite difficult to instantly exchange information with those in poles apart locations or in different time zones. But due to globalization, means and methods of communications have changed tremendously, and to no doubt this change is revolutionary. Businesses today outsource or hire staff from distant locations, and they start their operations in foreign countries with no barriers to communications, as it is simple to converse with help of video calling services regardless where organizations are located. Transfer of information is at ease due to different drives or emails available to all of us. It was often seen that people from different cultures face difficulties in order to maintain and interpret the mannerism of both the cultures. It is not only limited to individuals, but the same issue is also faced by government, businesses, and other trade-related employees. But due to globalization, the scenario has changed. It is very much convenient to prove competitive advantage and communicate across culturally with businesses competing in a global environment. It is often seen that in Japanese culture, people avoid getting personal or to talk about personal life in initial meetings. But in US, it is a different scenario where people ask personal information and exchange personal information with openness to each other. When these two distinct business people communicate with each other, it is seen that either of the one gets dragged away from the topic, but due to growth in internet technology and globalization, they are able to communicate and understand each other in more effective ways as the world is now aware about the different sets of culture followed in different parts of the world. I believe that industrialization, international trade, cross-border communication, etc. are all part of globalization. It is not only limited to improvement of cultural, social or business relations, but also involves modern aspects such as outsourcing business ideas, students exchange programs, liberalization, emerging economies, foreign direct investments, etc. are all part of globalization. It is not only completely dependent on internet, but to no doubt internet services as an instrument which is able to connect people over man-made boundaries and is successful in eliminating fear of cultural variances and boosting communication in human society, which results in effective business operations and growth in sustainable opportunities for fair trade as well as employment related issues. It is seen that globalization continuously accelerates the need for enhanced business communication skills. Business employees and managers coming from a variety of different culture backgrounds tends to speak their own national language while they communicate with each other. This gave rise to lingua franca. English is one of those languages which is widely spoken throughout the world, and hence business practitioners also find it feasible enough to adapt English as lingua franca, and this provides an increasing importance of English in international business. Vitality of English is established in academics as well as the business spheres, and there exists a vast difference between international language and lingua franca. For an example, French is also a widely spoken and adopted language of people, and hence it is one of the international languages recognized by the world. But when it comes to English, people not only speak it as their second language but also feel the need to master it. It is also adopted by the international laws, medias, administration, government, educational systems, and more than 70 countries officially refer English as their second language, and hence English is not only an international language but also a lingua franca. After the World War II, United States was the only country which remained undamaged politically, scientifically and educationally, and as it was English-speaking countries which helped the other allies at that time, it made their status stronger and indirectly stated the reach of English and boosted our reach to English. Concept of global English is increasing its reach since 19th century itself. The number of speakers are growing rapidly. It can be seen and said that we are living in a world which is surrounded from English by the sky to the roofs. As pilots and cabin crew need to speak English, multinational companies look for proficiency in English. International lectures and conferences are held in English. Reports, journals, books, everything are published in English. And being an international language as well as a lingua franca, it is now essential for business people as well as students to communicate with an effective approach towards this global language. Internet has not only changed our ways of communication or business profiles, but have changed our lifestyles to a great extent. We as humans are shifting towards a digital world and is completely surrounded by digital terms such as subscribe, networked, shared, followed, etc. etc. And this is nothing else but globalization, where social media is evolving steadily, giving a boost to business environment. We are all acting as agents at these platforms to deliver words with our views and opinions, but indirectly communicating in a language which is understood by most of us and is none other than English. Growth in movement of goods, technology, idea, capital, people, etc. is growing and are signs of further step ahead towards globalization. and will connect more cultures and countries globally. I believe that the future is more exciting. Until then, that's it for this one. Thank you for tuning in.